Hello and welcome. My name is Nicole Renchetti, Product Specialist at DSD Business Systems. In this video, we will review installation and setup for the DSD ScamForce Multi-Bin Basic module. This will include all of the necessary tasks for getting the module up and running, as well as some additional tasks and utilities which can be used during the setup process. So first thing we're going to do today is go over the Multi-Bin Basic installation. You'll notice here I have the MBIM 540 EXE on my desktop. I'm going to right click and select Run as Administrator. I'm going to then follow the on-screen instructions by simply clicking Next. I'm going to accept the EULA, hit Next. I'm going to verify that the path chosen on the screen is pointed at the correct MAS 90 location that I'd like to install the Multi-Bin Basic module, and then I'm going to select Install. And once the installation is completed, I'm going to simply click on Finish. Next, from within Sage 100, I will need to launch Company Maintenance. I'll then select the company code in which I'd like Multi-Bin set up, then activate the module. Once activation has finished, I'll then launch role maintenance to ensure that my role has full access to the module in both the tasks as well as in the security events. Once the role maintenance settings have been applied, you will see the DSD ScamForce Multi-Bin Basic module has been added to the desktop. The module contains 4 menus: Main, Reports, Setup, and Utilities. Tasks such as replenishment selection, replenishment entry, put away report, and replenishment register and update are only available if Multi-Bin Advanced has been installed. Users who have Multi-Bin Basic installed only will receive a message that these features are not available and to contact their reseller for more information. Next, I will launch the Multi-Bin options from the Setup menu. Select the checkbox to allow multi-bin distribution for this company code. On this tab, you can also choose to enable or disable on-the-fly bin locations, quick bin transfers, as well as set a default sort method for bin locations. You also have the ability to change the double-click drill down of the warehouse to open Item Bin Maintenance and Item Maintenance and Inquiry. Enabling this option gives users a quick and easy way of seeing which bin locations the item is located in and the quantities for each of those locations as well. On the Entry tab, I have additional options such as setting the default view in Item Bin Maintenance to lot serial for lot serial items. I can set my default distribution order for lot serial items. Many of these options are only available with Multi-Bin Advanced, such as the replenishment options, as well as auto allocation. If users select to auto-allocate, they will receive a message that this feature is only available in DSD ScamForce Multi-Bin Advanced. I can also enable the option to allow negative bin quantities for non-lot serial items, disable the bin distribution pop-up while in sales order distribution, and bypass the prompt to delete the line if distribution is incomplete. The Ship Allocated Quantity option allows users to determine how items that were previously allocated during sales order entry will affect the shipping of items during invoice and shipping data entry. Users can select from Yes, No, or Prompt. If Yes is selected, no message box will appear when selecting the Lines tab of an invoice, and only items which were previously allocated will be marked as shipped. Non-multi-bin enabled items or items which were not previously allocated during sales order entry will not be marked as shipped. If No is selected, invoice data entry and shipping data entry will prompt the user when accessing the lines. The prompt will read, "Do you want to ship the complete sales order?" If No is selected in this message box, no items will be marked as shipped in the invoice. If Yes is selected, all items will be marked as shipped regardless of previous allocations. However, all allocations previously performed on the sales order will still carry over into the invoice. If Prompt is selected, the user will be presented with a new prompt when accessing the detail lines in invoice shipping data entry. The user can then choose Yes to ship the complete sales order, and all items will be marked as shipped, No, and no items will be marked as shipped, or Allocate, and only allocated items will be marked as shipped. On the Printing tab, I can choose to enable multi-bin recaps for my various transaction types, I also have the ability to change the order in which picking sheets for the sales order module will print. These can be printed in order by order, bin and item, or bin, item, and order. The option to allow auto allocation during picking sheet printing is only allowed in the DSD ScanForce Multi-Bin Advanced module. Next, I will set up my location types. Location types are not required, however, they are a useful way to group together and categorize various locations within your warehouse. I can also use this to disallow various transaction types and set min-max quantities for the location type as well. I can use this for areas such as picking locations versus receiving locations. I can also use this to define my overstock areas as well as various staging locations. Next, I'm going to begin enabling multi-bin for each warehouse code where multiple bins will be used. I'll launch warehouse bin maintenance, select the warehouse code, then enable the option to allow multi-bin distribution. If the warehouse code currently has negative on-hand quantities, it is recommended that the option to allow negative bin quantities is also enabled in order to ensure that the multi-bin quantities reconcile with the standard inventory files. Next, I will set up my bin structure. The bin structure is another optional feature which can be used within the multi-bin module. This allows us to set various segments for our bin location codes. So for example, for my first segment, I will have the rack, which will be a length of 1. I can select my separator, and I can say that my racks in my warehouse are lettered A through Z. My next segment that I'm going to use for my bin location is going to be the aisle. These will be numbered 100 through 900. And then I will have the bin which will be numbered 00 through 90. Now below, I will see the settings for initial transfer into bins. This option down below is only seen the first time we're enabling multi-bin for a particular warehouse code. I'm going to set up my first bin location. The bin location maintenance screen will launch. I can select or enter a description. I can also select a location type, and here's where I'm going to select my picking location type. I can also set up min-max quantities if I like, and I can also set additional restrictions. These restrictions did populate from the location type maintenance that we previously set up. These can be modified on each individual bin location as well. So for now, I'm just going to select OK. And I also have an option here to use the item warehouse bin location if setup. So if I was previously using the bin locations in the standard bin location field in Sage 100, I can select this option and multi-bin will automatically look at those bin locations, set those bin locations up in the multi-bin module, and put all of my inventory into those files. I'm going to click Accept. And all of our items have now been moved to the bin locations. Now that the module has been activated and set up, I can use the bin location maintenance task from the main menu to edit bins created during the initial bin transfer or manually create new bins. Here I've selected a bin that was created during our initial bin transfer. Again, I can make changes such as add min-max quantities, change the location type, change restriction settings. I can even use it to view what quantities were added to the bin location for each item. If I want to set up a new bin location, I can do so by either manually typing in the bin location field or by selecting the Build Bin Location button next to the bin location field. In this screen, I can enter each setting that I would like for each of my segment codes. And select OK. This will create my bin location for me in the format that I've defined in my warehouse bin maintenance. The multi-bin module also features a utility which will allow you to auto-generate bin locations. In order to begin, I will launch my warehouse bin maintenance and select the warehouse code. We need to set up various segment codes for each of our segments defined in our bin structure. So from this screen, I will select the toolbox. And here, I can define which values are applicable to this particular segment. I will then select the Auto Create, which will create all of the segment codes based on my settings. I will do this for each segment. For this warehouse code. Next, I will launch the Autogenerate Bin Locations utility from the Utilities menu. I'll select my warehouse code, select the action, which can be create or delete, and I will select my default bin location in which I'd like to copy settings. I'll then put in a range of values for each segment that I'd like to generate bin locations for. In this instance, I will generate bin locations for every combination for Rack E. Additionally, during the setup process of the multi-bin module, users may choose to utilize the product line bin maintenance in order to disable multi-bin transactions by product line and warehouse code, or they may also utilize the item bin maintenance in order to disable multi-bin transactions by item code and warehouse code as well. This concludes our video for the multi-bin basic installation and setup. Thank you.